Alright, in this video I'm showing you how I use the Apple Vision Pro to retrofit Ethernet between two floors. So right now I'm using the Magic Room app. It allows me to basically create a 3D floor plan. It makes a grid. This app is very accurate. The longer I stare at a section of wall, the better it is. Right now I'm just getting an idea of this closet. This closet is where I'm running the wires to. So now I'm looking and I'm going back upstairs to see where this wall is, and I'm also looking at the dimensions of this closet. As I'm above the closet, I can see it right here. This is the wall that stacks on top of it. I'm going to use tape. I use painter's tape to mark where the dimensions of the closet begin and end, and then I also use a stud finder because the most important part is finding the stud bay that lines up with the stud bay below. So right now I'm using my Bosch D-Tech stud finder. It's the most reliable stud finder I have. It allows me to see studs. It allows me to see objects. It tells me how deep the objects are. Right now it's showing me there's a stud with an electrical line running on it as well. So I know that if I was to use that bay, there's electrical in it. Now I'm using 3D objects to mark where I found this stud, and then I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to see exactly where this stud was, and as I see it's right there. I'm going to use my stud finder again, and then I'm going to find the studs that are in this closet. So now that I found a stud in the closet, I'm going to mark this stud bay with a 3D object as well, and I'm going to go upstairs and see where it is. Once I get upstairs, I basically see where my stud is upstairs and the stud downstairs. So that is my sweet spot between these two 3D objects. That's my sweet spot for doing my drill shot to get from the attic. I also use my thermal scanner. This is basically just a double check to make sure those were studs. This is what it looks like. These are pictures from Google. You can pretty much see the drill shot that I'm trying to attempt. I'm basically going from the top plate above to the bottom plate below, or the top plate below. Oh, well, bottom plate to top plate. But this is it. Alright, this is another example of how I use the Magic Room app to trace out another floor-to-floor drill shot. So as you see, I already have my 3D objects in the ceiling. I was using them to mark the way the joists are running and also create the barriers. What I'm trying to do is aim for this dead space behind the TV. I need to run an Ethernet from the attic down the second floor wall, and then from the second floor wall down behind this TV. So I'm looking for this dead space behind the TV. So now I'm just gonna go back upstairs, and on my way upstairs I can see the living room where I just left as I go up the stairs, and I can now see the fireplace. I see the TV down below. I see that there's that dead space. There's a triangle in the corner, so I know exactly where the dead space is. As I turn it off, I can see my 3D objects. They're exactly where I left them. Right now I'm using my stud finder, pretty much looking for the studs. I also have the another stud finder, which basically allows me to double check and make sure everything is where it is, and making sure there aren't any other utilities running down this same stud bay. Once I found my spot, I'll go ahead and cut my access hole. Do this at regular outlet height. That way I can put a blank plate over it, or even an Ethernet port, just in case it's along the route of another Ethernet. But now I can basically drill down. I will make this hole bigger as I go, and then I'll eventually stick an inspection camera down in the hole to see exactly where I am and where my next drill shot will be. As I walk out to my truck, I slowed it down. As you can see, you can still see the 3D objects that I left in the house. So this is very accurate, and the 3D objects stay where they are.